Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be out photographing things like this. Beautiful, beautiful ferns. It's quite a big one, get some small ones as well. Hopefully lit like this. The sun is out just now, but there's cloud creeping in. If it comes in too much, we're going to have that classic like single light over the top, which is workable, but I do like to see them sunlit with a dark background. It looks beautiful. Nice mossy tree there as well. And that's what I'm going to be doing today, is walking around this lovely woodland with a lovely birdsong on a gorgeous day and enjoying myself. And I've not been out for a while. I've taken lots and lots and lots of photographs with the phone over the last 2 months when I've been out walking Duke, but I've not been able to get out with the kit and do photography as I should do. And that's because if you've picked up from the Iceland video, I've not been too well. And that happens to a lot of people, that we don't really feel great. And I usually say, no matter how you feel, get out and take pictures and have fun. Sometimes you just can't. All my energy has been just getting my work done and looking after Duke, and that's it. So I'm feeling a lot better, not quite 100%, but I'm going to get out just now, even though I'm still feeling a bit iffy and a bit tired. But I'm going to get out and see if I can get some really nice images of ferns and bluebells and other woodland flowers that are out here, because I've missed spring. I've missed the best time, but it's just coming out and looking gorgeous. But it's still nice, and it's a nice day. And I'm waffling, so let's go and do some photography. Follow me. So I stopped straight away. I started walking off, then realised, oh, I want to photograph this, it's quite nice. So here I am. My settings are at the moment 64 ISO. The f-stop I'm going to put to that one, that's f-stop. Going to put it f4 just now, no, f5. You know what, it's going to go to f8. It's not quite rule of thirds here. The tree's not smack bang on the third, but do I want it to be? How would I get it in the third? It's not easy. Take a picture, see what it looks like. Should be exactly the same as I'm seeing here. Yeah. I like it. Move on. Duke, you coming? Well, I was just setting up to do this little piece of camera, and the bit of camera I was going to do was talking about this patch of sunlight here, and how a little while ago it had been on this beautiful fern here in the old bit of wood. But as I was doing it, and I'm going to just check my focus, there we go. As I was doing it, I was just about to press record, Duke took off in that direction over there, and it was a deer. There was a deer in the woods just down here, and it obviously seen us and it stayed still, hiding behind trees, but because we stopped, it made a bolt for it and Duke chased it. I'm not worried about Duke chasing deer because he's old and fat and he only goes about 10-15 meters and stops dead, so I'm not really that fussed. Yeah, I think the deer probably gets a bit of a fright, but it's way off in the distance now. And I had considered doing a little bit to camera as well just before that, to say you do get deer here, but they never appear when the camera is on. And that was a classic example. The camera was off when the deer went for it. So in amongst all the plantation of fir trees, you get the old trees as well, left just to survive in amongst all this rubbish. You can see the plantation there, and this lovely old gnarly tree here. I'll identify it in a minute. I want to go and see if I can get that beautiful shape on camera. Let's see what we can do. I don't like the fence behind it though. It's a deer fence. I don't like it. You okay, Duke? Alright. Waiting for the screen to come on, but of course, with this camera, I've got to switch it on. So now my exposure is way, way off because it was photographing in sunshine. So just wind this back up. Focus looks okay. I'll just adjust. There we go. That looks okay. So the peaking is quite good, comes in quite bright there and forward there. All I want to do now is check what composition do I want. How do I want that to look? A little bit of in the foreground there. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the main branch coming down here and another one going up the side there. It might crop, might be okay. Let's have a wee try at that. It's underexposed just now. I'm going to do a correct exposure. It looks quite nice. I think somewhere in the middle is probably about the best there, because I want the highlights and not the background. Now I was advised, see if this works, if I select the highlight mode, which is the little dot in the middle and the little star, then the exposure should be set exactly for the highlights when it's in the middle. Looks okay. I've got a bit of tree coming in there, so I could probably do with zooming a fraction to get that out. That's nice. That does look nice. Take that picture. Not bad. I want to, oh, that was a bit, it's a bit, oh, okay. The exposure keeps adjusting, probably because the light is changing quite dramatically. There we go, that'll do. So in this patch of woodland, it's not in the sun, but I found this fern here with some wildflowers just peeking through. And I quite like it. I'm not sure if it's going to make a good photograph, but let's have a go. Potential everywhere, and this might not be the best scene at all, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. We're just going to concentrate on the fern and the flower. See what comes out. I took some photographs last week of these lovely little flowers in another scene, and on the phone they were like little lights. They were so bright. It's incredible. I'm not sure if they'll show as well on the video, but I'll put a picture up just now to show you what I was looking at last week. It was just stunning on the phone, but the phone is a backlit screen and I don't know if it will be any good on anything else. But that's what I'm looking at. This piece, this fern coming through here and the flowers across. So they're in the upper third of the camera, which is not too bad. Let's get the focus on them. That's not too bad. I'm not bothered about focus for this bit of video. I'm going to put it back to camera now and redo all my settings again. So yeah, that's a nice little scene and I'm quite happy with it, but I'm going to explore a bit more. And the reason why is I look around and you get lovely patches of sunlight around here. And there's bound to be something that is really going to grab my attention and just be a beautiful, beautiful image. It's funny how you can see things and go, well, that's really nice. There's a little bit of sunlight over there. It looks nice. Is it a photograph? I don't know. To some people it would be a photograph, but to me, I'm like, oh, is it, isn't it? I'm not very good at this sort of intimate detail stuff. To be honest, not very good at anything really. But I try. I try hard. I get out with my camera, take pictures, and I have fun. And that's the important thing. So, Puffy Dukey here and myself, we're going to move on a little bit. He's sitting amongst the clover at the moment. The forest floor here, when it's not full of needles back there, is covered in this wonderful, wonderful clover. And oh, it's a tree creeper. Oh God. I'm going to tell you now, I've never seen a tree creeper. And there's one behind, and I don't think I can film it because it's too small, it's too far away. I'm blown away. I've always wanted to see a tree creeper, and it was behind the camera. But I don't have the zoom on this to make an image of it, and nothing on this either. Wow! See, if you just sit in a woodland relatively quietly, it's amazing what you see. Anyway, as I said, let's move on and find something a little bit better than this. Well, I put the camera off and looked behind me and saw a nice little scene of clover, so I'm going to show you that right now. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And I'm just walking away while you see that to get the camera and try and get it, to get that lovely image. And the question is, how, again, do I photograph it? What angle do I photograph that? It looks nice there. I don't like that twig. Right. There are lots and lots of flies around that. I like the image I've shown you. So I'm going to move you and take that. But that's a bit better. Then you've got lights just a bit nicer there. Okay, composition. Tree leg coming down, that one coming this way. Sitting in the middle, so you've got a nice V section. That looks okay. Let's get the focus, make sure the focus is on the clover. Then zoom in and have a good check. And I've got my right glasses on, I've got my varifocals on so I can see distance and I can see close. It makes a change, doesn't it? So I zoom right in, and what I find is I zoom far too far when I'm pixel peeping, but those clover look quite nice. They're not all in focus, definitely not all in focus. Okay, so I'm going to increase the depth of field to f11. So take a picture again. According to the back of the screen, everything should have been in focus. The focus peaking is telling me that this area is in focus and this area over here is in focus, so everything should be in focus. But some of these just aren't as sharp as I would like. I think that looks okay. That's nice. Okay. Switch that off and move on. So far I've not been as lucky as I would like to be with regard to sunlit ferns, or even some of the flowers. I've not really been as successful as I would like, but I found one here. It's a bigger one than I wanted. Remember I said right at the beginning I was looking for small ferns. This is a bigger one, but I think I can do something with this. So I've taken this image here, and it's just a bit squint. It doesn't look right. I'm trying to get those leaves there in, but I'm losing something over here. There is another fern. I've got to be careful that I'm not bringing that in. I just want to have the one fern. So I'm going to swing around slightly, pull it back, centralize it a bit, try to keep the tips of those fronds in the image. And now the wind blows like mad. That's all right. And there's one right at the front. Let's see, can I bring the one at the front in? There we go. Take the picture. Slightly overexposed on that one. So I'm just going to underexpose it a fraction. Take the picture, no wind please. There we go. So again, zoom in. That looks quite nice. So that's a big fern. What I want to do now is try and find something a little bit more intimate. We'll try and get the detail in the ferns in a nice light. So I found this little scene here that I like. It's not as lit as well as I would want, but it's nice. It's got those lovely clover there, and then the fern. I might be able to bring them together a little bit by bringing the angle around here. What bothers me though is kind of the tree in the background. There's one there, there's one over here. But I do like the detail. I could get just the detail of the clover and maybe just of that. So I'm just going to do a little bit of experimenting and see what I get. Wow, that shadow's coming through so fast. I've lost it. I've actually lost the light. I really have lost the light in there. The shadows come through so fast in that short time. Oh, it's back again. Quick, take a picture. So there must be a tree branch, a tree moving, causing that. So it's a bit underexposed. So I've got a tree moving somewhere, and it's causing the shadow to really get in the way. I think I could make something with that. That is lovely. That's a really nice. Oh, shadow, get out, get out, get out. If that's in focus and in full detail, I'll be very happy. And it's so good, I want to get that ISO down as low as I can. Take it again. Really liking this image. It's very moody. I'm going to bring some more of the wood into that. Wood of the tree, the trunk, the rotten trunk. Take another picture. That's nice. Oh, that's so sweet. This is what I wanted. This sort of detail is what I really wanted to bring to you today. And I've got clover, an old birch leaf, some rotting wood, and it's just catching the sun and no more. Lots of shadow coming through. It's really nice. You coming? So just walking back again, back towards the car, but on a different path to the one I came in, because this is a nice loop, this area. And to be perfectly honest, if you watched my Get Low with Fungi video, you might actually recognise the place, because this is where it was before. In fact, I'm sure I did a video right on the ground, right here, about 3 years ago. And Get Low with the Fungi, it's my best video. I wouldn't say my best video quality-wise, but it's the most watched video of all my videos. And I think partly because this one appears carrying the tripod, and I think people see that in the thumbnail and think, oh, this looks interesting. Or it's just there's lots of people interested in fungi. And yeah, as we're heading into summer, there's some around just now. It's all to do with temperature, I believe. But the best time is the autumn. So in the autumn, I might do a new fungi video, because it does seem to be very popular. Yeah, but I'm trying to keep my eye out for some nice compositions of clover and fern. But I'm getting tired. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Maybe it's time to wrap up soon. I might get one more image before I go, because we've been at this a couple of hours now. Believe it or not, it's probably a relatively short video, but it can take some hours to do. Well, I didn't walk much further and I started to see possibilities. And over here there's a tree. At the bottom of the tree, some nice ferns. Might be an issue with the crossover between one fern and the other. I'd rather have that on its own. So do I come around here and go for this one? Let's have a go at that one. Tidy it up and have a go. So in live view, zooming in, I can adjust the focus on that. Then check the top of the image, and it's a bit out there, so that's not great there. So it's a very narrow depth of field. I'm going to take that one though. Right, so that's that one done. Now the last thing I want to do, the very last image, is a really close detail of a fern leaf. I don't have a macro lens with me, but I'll get in as close as I can and get something really special. You see what I have to put up with? He does like getting close to the camera, but he's just out enough. In fact, he might be in it fractionally. But what I'm doing is getting this fern here, which is blowing around a little bit, but not too much. The closer I zoom into it, the less depth of field I've got, and I'm really struggling to keep the focus just where I want it, especially when it starts to bounce around. But I'm just trying to get a bit of a pattern going. So the best way is to get a diagonal. So I'm just going to angle the camera around so it's not perfectly right through the middle of the frame. It's not bad actually. And let's get the focus on majority. I want the exposure to be just under so I don't have any burnouts. Take the image, 1/60th, f20. What was the ISO? So ISO was 800, f20, 1/60th of a second, and it seemed to be getting most of that in focus. So this is how nature takes over. A fence post here, and there's a fir tree growing right out the middle of it. In fact, it's two fir trees growing out the middle. Isn't that just spectacular? You try to carry, you can't carry that one, it's heavy. No. Come on then, boy. He's a good boy, aren't you? He's a good boy. Yes. Idiot. Good boy. In you go. Good boy. So that was good. I enjoyed that. Nice walk around the woods. Not too strenuous. One little bit of a hill for me because Duke likes to go down towards the water at the steepest part of the path. He wants to go down there and play in the water. So yeah, I went down there. Looked around, because before there was lots of bluebells and lots of, what do you call it, wild garlic, but they're disappearing. There wasn't very many compositions to be had, and the whole area has been taken over by nettle now. And I think that was probably the last time we'll be going down. As much as Duke likes to go in the water, it's just going to be covered in nettle very, very shortly. And that's the interesting thing about the landscape around us. If you look at it in detail, a few months ago, it was pretty flat and bare, just grasses. And then the snowdrops would have come out, and then the bluebells came out, and the wild garlic came out, and it was looking stunning. The ferns started to unfurl, looking really beautiful. I missed all of that with the decent cameras. I took quite a few with the phone, and here's one or two here now, because it was really nice. You couldn't not take pictures, even though just with the phone I had to take pictures. But I really wasn't up to walking around with the heavy camera bag and tripods and the extra vlogging camera. I just couldn't do it. So you wouldn't want to see me actually vlogging at that time either. I did my best for the Iceland video. All the stuff that was done from my home office was done fairly recently before I put that video out. I was feeling a bit better at that time. And you might gather that I've got a new camera that I'm vlogging from. It's the Sony ZV-1 or ZV-1. I actually prefer to call it the ZV-1, it sounds quite cool. I'm just getting used to it. I'm just leaving it on auto just now. Hopefully everything's come out well. I'm hoping there isn't too much jumping of the focus. We'll find out very soon. I'm learning, but I've got a lot more to learn. But yep, it's been good to be out and about. Another car is going to pass. This is the third take. Every time I do it, the car passes. It's a very quiet road normally, but yeah, I'm just about finished. So I just want to say again, thank you for watching this far. I'm not sure where the next video will be coming from. I'm not sure when the next video will come, but it will come eventually. But until then, I wish you all the best and hope that you will get out, take pictures, and have fun doing so. Bye for now. And I'm not going to slam that door shut because the tripod leg's in the way. Let's just pretend I'm driving off. Boom, boom.